and Cleveland. This is the first show that I've done since Harden was in a Cleveland jersey. You see the Jokic numbers against Cleveland, the lowest against any player in his, any team, I should say, in his career. That's Jokic to Christian Brown. Denver up 5. Woo, woo, woo! Jokic, the push ahead, Cam Johnson. 7 assists for the Joker, first half. Nuggets leading. Foot game, output, the athleticism, the sublime. We move to the fourth, 4-point game. Swarming defense leads to Jarrett Allen, James Harden. Jokic, not thrilled. Under 3 to go. Beautiful spin. Donovan Mitchell puts the Cavs to within 1. Now it's Mitchell. Down the lane up top, Allen. Cavs bench. Loving every bit of it. On the other end, Jokic. Regulate. Left hand. Flying. Whatever. They're up 3. Harden. Step back. All 3 of these didn't get the foul call. 22, 10, and 7. We're tied on the other end. Jokic. The kick out. Off the miss. Mitchell. Clock winding down. Attack mode. Foul called on Jamal Murray. Wow, Mitchell makes both free throws. Cavs lead by 2. He had 32 and 10. Nuggets, Jokic for the win! And it's short. Cavs erase an 11-point fourth quarter deficit to win by 2. Jokic 22, 14, and 11.
Basketball. So I just kind of removing that last shot with 9/10 of a second. This loss was kind of built earlier in that fourth quarter.
Katie Wingy joins us. You called the game, and I totally agree with you. You said that at the end. You said, at no point did I feel like the Nuggets were going to lose control.
Truly.
I always felt the Nuggets were going to win. And I said that to Chris. These clutch games that they're losing, that's striking to me.
And I think, too, it does have to do with the fact that they haven't had a full rhythm of clutch rotations. You're playing different guys at different times. Nikola Jokic isn't playing his usual minutes. You don't have that Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, peanut butter and jelly. Yes, they've been doing it for years, but you haven't had that consistently in clutch moments this year. I just think that experience is the best teacher, and getting back to being consistent in that execution, it does make a big difference. I'm going to ask to see the Jokic, not the 0.9 second one, the one before that.
Before we passed it out to
Yes.
Hardaway?
Because I believe the defender was in the paint for about 20 seconds.
Yeah, you were saying that.
20 seconds.
Well,
Tyson
we'll
was.
pull it up if you have a chance, Mike, because I'd entertain this as well. You mentioned it during the broadcast, and I didn't have a chance to see it. Rewind it, Mike, if you don't mind, from the beginning of the play. All right, here we go. Here's.
Yeah, Tyson right there. He's at the restricted
middle.
area.
Okay, there's 1 second. All right,
Oh, he
steps
did come out
out,
there.
steps out. No, I mean, he got out.
Maybe that's not the one I was
Yeah,
thinking
he
of.
got out. There was one play you mentioned that where there was somebody
The whole
parked in there
time.
for a long time. You know, again, clutch play has been a problem. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, Donovan Mitchell was exactly that, clutch. He finishes with 32 points. They may have traded for James Harden to give him some oomph, but this is still Donnie Mitchell's team.
It is, and you know, this is the kind of player he's been, you know, for the entirety of the time he's been in Cleveland, for sure. He has finished games off. He has led them to wins. He has done this multiple times, and you know, one of the things that you said prior to the game is you have to keep him out of your paint. And they were not able to keep him out of the paint, and not even a little bit in some stretches of this basketball game. But you know what? Look, you know, it's what great players do. It's why he's a great player. He's a great player for a reason. You have to be able to hold your lead so that great player doesn't have a chance to bring his team back.
I just think he's such a player that you truly do have to pick your poison with, too. He can come off of screens and get downhill, which it felt like that was where he was spending most of his time dominating, at least in the first half. Then he started to knock down a couple threes. He was still 3 of 10 from the three-point line. So it's almost like you wanted to make him prove it, but you know he's capable of it, so you want to make him beat you in a different way. Then he was getting to the free throw line as well. So he's so shifty. He is so good at reading defenses. Him and Jamal Murray have had battles upon battles through the years. I think there's a reason for that. They are very similar in the way that they play and how they operate out there.
All right, so Nikola Jokic got himself a triple-double tonight. That's no surprise at all. How about James Harden, who came very close to a triple-double himself? 7 assists. He was 3 shy of the TD. But, again, he doesn't do much in the first half. Like, he only had 9 points in the first half. But when the game came down to crunch time, he made all the right reads.
He only had 9 points because Donovan Mitchell had as many points as he had in the. He didn't need to. He didn't need to score. And then once, you know, he was recognizing how Denver was defending and the things they were doing differently, closing out to shooters the way that they had to after they were making threes in the fourth quarter the way that they were the Cavs. And then you have Donovan Mitchell, who had been scoring. James Harden was able to find some more openings because you have to pay more attention to Mitchell when he's scoring like that. So I just think he went into, okay, I understand how this game has been going. I understand the strategy and the flow so far. Let me just pick that apart.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I mean, you got to give him a lot of credit. I mean, he just got to Cleveland. This is his second game.
Yep.
And he ran the show, especially in that second half, exactly how you want a point guard to run it. He didn't overshoot the basketball. He set his teammates up, whether it was a roll man or, like you're saying, or out to a three-point shooter. You know, he was in control of this game. Really allows to take some of the pressure off Donovan Mitchell as well. So Donovan doesn't have to play make and make shots and just be Mr. Everything. He can kind of concentrate on putting the ball in the bucket.
At the end of the night, I guess my biggest takeaway, my biggest gripe is this. The Denver Nuggets have played 25 games here at Ball Arena in front of these fans. They're 14-11 at home. That's just not going to cut it.
Okay, but Vic, they've been so much better on the road than they have in any other years.
Well, that even leads to my argument.
Into this game,
I totally agree.
Same record as last year.
I totally agree. You know, listen, you've seen Nuggets basketball I've seen Nuggets basketball for 55 years. 14-11 at home for a championship contender. If they want to win a championship, that's got to change.
With health, it will.
It's got to change.
There's a reason. I think it is exceptional what they have been doing on the road.
I don't disagree with you.
They should not be where they are.
Both things can be true.
Okay.
Both things can be true. When we come back, we'll hear from Coach Adelman, his thoughts as the Nuggets fall tonight to the Cleveland Cavaliers. If we could play it on the big screen.
I'm wondering if we can.
That'd be great because this happened under a minute to go.
You can describe it.
Under a minute to play.
So I can show you.
And yes, and Katie will show us. It was a decisive moment in the game because the Nuggets are nursing a 3-point lead. And you see Joker back in.
Tyson right here.
Yeah.
You get 3 seconds as a defender in the paint.
All right, there's about
2,
4 seconds.
3, 4. I know this is slow motion. 5.
Look at the bench.
6.
Look at the bench.
7. They're all yelling about it.
Look at the bench.
8, 9. And then they send a double team.
Look
and
at
the shot
bench.
clock's winding down.
Oh, my God.
And it ends in that.
Yeah.
That's 43 seconds. So that's a missed possession offensively, a missed opportunity for the Nuggets to score, and then Donovan Mitchell gets fouled on the other end.
So that's a 5-point swing, essentially. It leads to a 5-point swing.
4, yeah.
Because you get a technical free throw for the Nuggets.
Oh, yes.
Which would put them up by 4 at that point.
And then the ball.
Yeah, that's woo. And you heard
and everybody
the
makes
entire
mistakes
bench.
and you miss things, and it never comes down to one play.
I can't wait for the last 2-minute report.
That's a big miss.
The last 2-minute report will save the day again.
What? It does nothing.
I know, it does absolutely nothing. But
all it does is make you mad.
Yeah.
You just made me mad. I don't know why you did that.
We're telling the story of what happened in the game, and you could see the whole bench react. I could hear the bench react.
Why would you do that?
Through my headset, they're asking for the 3-second call, and critical moment.
I was perfectly comfortable with the loss.
No, you were not. You were being mad about them not winning more games at home.
You gonna be all right, Vic?
You were yelling to the audience about it.
Let's hear from Coach Adelman, please.
Coach, what happened down the stretch? The offense hosting up, trying to get Joker to the post. He passes the ball out on multiple occasions. Did you like the decision-making in that stretch?
Yeah, I mean, it was also, he was aggressive to go down there. You know, a lot of times we run the pick and roll, resulted in did he get fouled? I don't know. Tim got a great look. He made the left-handed hook over Allen. And so when he's aggressive to go down there and he feels like he has an advantage, we're going to go down there. That's what he does. It was unfortunate. I felt for the guys. We created a lot of open shots. The 41 threes was a good number, in my opinion, tonight, just because of the way they guarded. We just didn't have a great shooting night. And that continued late game when they decided to double him. But Yes, this is a tough loss. It's one of the ones you'll remember at the end of the year. Had control of the game. This happens in the NBA. I told them in there, it's, this stuff happens. We've won some games like this. The other team's probably looking back on how do we lose that game. But yeah, we found a way not to execute the last 3 minutes, and we have to be better.
Christian Brown played well tonight. Was this just a matter of making sure he was fully ready to go and could play with confidence?
Yeah, and I thought he shot it with more confidence too. I love that I think he had the stretch where he missed a couple in a row, maybe 3 in a row, and then made 2 in a row. He just let the thing go. And we're going to need that from him. 20 points. His minutes were, 32 minutes. He's getting there. He looks like he's in good shape. His conditioning. So, yeah, CB was a bright spot. We had multiple bright spots in that game. It seemed like we would get control of the game up 8, up 10, and then we give an offensive rebound. They hit a 3. They get to the line. There just was a myriad of things that kept them in the game, and a lot of them were controllable. And the second half, I thought it was the offensive rebounds by them that kept them alive. When you're alive and you have 2 guys like those 2 players, in Mitchell and Harden, you have a chance to win the game late.
Given Julian's night, the decision to close with Tim, is it just about veteran experience?
Yeah, and also I like the defensive lineup that was out there. Tim had made 3 threes. It felt like both guys have been really good offensively. Tim has been in this league and switching on to Harden, switching on to Donovan are things he's done. So I was comfortable with that. And the other one that was tough was, do you leave Bruce out there? Do you bring Cam back in? And I went with Cam the last couple of minutes. So, there's veteran guys that have been in these games. Sometimes you go that way. You lose the game, you always look back and say, if I would have done this, what would have happened? But obviously we've trusted Tim. He's closed games throughout the season. That's why I went that way.
On the subject of Julian, what has he shown you to earn more playing time lately? And what does it say about the kind of player that he is where you can trust him to be in the starting lineup after not playing for a while?
Yeah, him, just like the other guys we did that with, I just think his rhythm's been really good. His preparation on off days, and the coaching staff and their opinion matters to me. And we talk about where these guys are at mentally and their, how they prepare daily. And he's found a rhythm, not just in games. It's been, on the off days, playing 3-on-3, 5-on-5, all those things. So, Julian's he's a good version of himself right now. He's confident, he's shooting the ball, which is allowing him to get downhill to his right hand and score. And I thought he competed defensively throughout the night. And that's an area he has to keep improving in. It's something that, if you play the better part of the minutes of a game, you're going to play against star players. You're going to have to guard him with all the switching that goes on in our league. But yeah, he's made strides. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, Strother and CB, 20 points apiece tonight.